भारती तस्य जिह्वाग्रा रङ्गे नृत्यति नित्यशः यस्त्वेकवारं पठति पक्षमात्रमतन्द्रितः मुह्यन्ति कामवशगा मृगाक्षस्तस्य वीक्षणात् यः पठेन्नाम साहस्रं जन्म मध्ये सकृन्नरः तदृष्टिगोचरा सर्वे मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः यो वेत्ति नाम साहस्रं तस्मै देयं द्विजन्मने अन्नं वस्त्रं धनं धान्यं नान्ये भस्तु कदाचन श्रीमन्त्रराजं यो वेत्ति श्रीचक्रं यः समर्चति यः कीर्तयति नामानि तं सत्प्रातं विदुर्बुधा तस्मै देयं प्रयत्नेन श्रीदेवी प्रियमिच्छता न कीर्तयति नामानि मन्त्रराजं न वेत्ति यः पशुतुल्यः स विज्ञेयस्तस्मै दत्तं निरर्धकं परीक्ष्य विद्या विदुषस्तेभ्यो दद्याद्विचक्षणः श्रीमन्त्रराजसदृशो यथा मन्त्रो न विद्यते देवता ललिता तुल्या यथा नास्ति घटोद्भवा रहस्यनाम साहस्रा तुल्या नास्ति तथा स्तुतिः लिखित्वा पुस्तके यस्तु नाम साहस्रमुत्तमं समर्चयेत् सदा भक्त्या तस्य तुष्यति सुन्दरी बहुनात्र कृमुक्तेन शृणुत्वं कुम्भसम्भवा नानेन सदृशं स्तोत्रं सर्वतन्त्रेषु विद्यते तस्मादुपासको नित्यं कीर्तयेदिदमादरात् एतन्नाम सहस्रैस्तु श्रीचक्रं योर्चयेत् सत्कृत् पद्मैर्वा तुलसीपत्रैः कल्हारैर्वा कदम्बकैः चम्पकैर्जातिकुसुमैर्मल्लिकाकरवीरकैः उत्पलैर्बिल्वपत्रैर्वा कुन्दकेसरपाटलैः अन्यैः सुगन्धिकुसुमैः केतकी माधवीमुखैः तस्य पुण्यफलं वक्तुं न शक्नोति महेश्वरः सा वेत्ति ललिता देवी स्वचक्रार्चनजं फलम् अन्ये कथं विजानीयुः ब्रह्माद्या स्वल्पमेधसः प्रतिमासं यश्चक्रराजस्तामर्चयेत् परदेवतां स एव ललितारूपस्तद्रूपा ललिता स्वयं न तयोर्विद्यते भेदो भेदकृत्पापकृद्भवेत् महानवम्यां यो भक्तः श्रीदेवीं चक्रमध्यगाम् अर्चयेन्नाम साहस्रैस्तस्य मुक्तिः करे स्थिता यस्तु नाम सहस्रेण शुक्रवारे समर्चयेत् चक्रराजे महादेवीं तस्य पुण्यफलं शृणु सर्वान् कामान् अवाप्नोति सर्वसौभाग्यसंयुतः पुत्रपौत्रादिसंयुक्तो भुक्त्वा भोगान्यथेप्सितान् अन्ते श्रीललितादेव्या सायुज्यमतिदुर्लभम्.
By reading this Sahasranamam without laziness for a fortnight, women can be fascinated by a mere glance. Kama Prayoga. This may be practiced at night. Persons accidentally coming in contact with him who has read this even once in his lifetime are freed from sins. To the twice-born man who knows this Sahasranamam should be offered food, cloth, money, and paddy, and never to anyone else. For the wise recognize him to be the fit recipient, guest who knows the Panchadashi, who worships the Sri Chakra, and who chants the Sahasranaman. Hence, to him and to him alone, one should with effort offer presents if he wants to please Devi. Him and him alone. Pulastya Smriti says, the Vidhi is of four kinds. The first is whose results are not visible, Adrishta. The second is whose result is obvious, Drishta. The third is the result mixed of the above, 1 and 2. And the fourth is whose source is inferred from reason. So the qualifications of the recipients are the Sri Vidya initiation, the worship of the Sri Chakra, and the repetition of Sahasranaman. He who does not repeat the Sahasranaman nor knows the Panchadashi is like unto a beast, and presents made to him are useless. Hence, the learned should test the knowledge of the recipient and offer him any presents. Test the knowledge concerning the worship of Lalitha and repetition of the Sahasranaman according to the rules. Just as there is no mantra to match with the Sri Vidya, no deity to equal Lalitha, so also, O pot-born one, there is no hymn equal to the Sahasranaman. With him who writes out the supreme Sahasranaman in a book and worships it with devotion, Sundari will be pleased. This verse refers to those who are not the regular devotees of Lalita. The devotees are those who receive the mantras, Sahasranaman, etc., from the Gurus with the meaning and practice them. The Shruti says, he who knows the meaning of the words obtains all auspiciousness and reaches heaven, all his sins purified by knowledge. All his sins. This indicates mere knowledge of words also produces some results. Therefore, writing, etc., will confer on him some good virtues, punya, which will operate in the course of succeeding births, if not in this, as indicated in the Tantra Raja and other works. The acquisition of books also is a virtue. At the end of this work, we are going to say, O Amba, this bhasya is dedicated to thy feet. Thou wert the cause of this. This explains the meaning of thy names. Let this be for thy pleasure. May I be thy devotee. To him who does not study this, nor read this, nor even acquires a copy of this, the worship of Lalita becomes useless. Why so many words? Listen, thou, O pot-born one, in all the tantras there is no hymn to be found which is equal to this. Therefore, should the devotee repeat this with much devotion, the good results accruing from the worship of the Sri Chakra, done once with the lotus, tulasi flower, kalhara, kadambaka, champaka, and jati flowers, with mallika, karaviraka, utpala, bilvapatra, kunda, kesara, patala, and other fragrant flowers such as ketaki, madhavi, accompanied with the chanting of these names. The results of such a worship are indescribable. Even by Maheshwara, it is only Lalita that can realize the greatness of the results of worshipping her. Sri Chakra. Tulasi flower. Tulasi bunch and not the petal, dala of Tulasi. The Fetkarni Tantra says, it is not desirable that the flowers or petals or fruits should be offered down-faced. They will create unhappiness. They are to be offered as they come out from their stalks. They are not intended to be offered down-faced except on the occasion of Pushpanjali, a ceremony where a handful of flowers is generally offered. But in the worship of Laksha Puja, etc., one laksha of flowers offering ceremony, one should offer one flower for each name. If the flowers are offered in quantity, the worship will not be called Laksha Puja. Maheshwara, the fourth among the five corpses, is not omniscient enough to understand the virtue of the worshipper. It is only Lalita if one does not observe the daily worship. He is not entitled to perform the optional ceremonies like the Ayushkara Prayoga and other flower offerings. The Prayoga is as follows. At the beginning of the worship of the Sri Chakra, One should recite thus as to get an unlimited virtue. I am going to worship Devi by such and such flowers. Then he should perform the asana puja, seat worship. Next, he should recite the first chapter, then perform the three nyasas. Next, he should repeat each name, mantra, in the dative's case, preceded with Om, Hreem, Shreem, and succeeding with Om. Example: Om Hreem Shreem Shrimatre Namaha Om, and slowly place one flower as it came out of the stalk on the bindu of the Sri Chakra, and continue the same kind of flower without mixing it with another kind till the end of the 1,000 names. Again, at the end, repeat the Om, next perform the three nyasas and repeat the concluding chapter. Thus ends the prayoga. How can Brahma and other gods who have limited knowledge know it? He who worships the supreme devata in the Sri Chakra with these names on the night of the full moon day in every month himself becomes one with Lalitha, and Lalitha with him. There is no difference between them, both Lalitha and the devotee, and to draw any distinction between them is to sin. If a devotee worships Sri Devi on the Mahanavami day with these 1,000 names, locating her in the Sri Chakra, his salvation is in his hand. To draw distinction, though, there is a distinction between the worshipper and the worshipped, as the one is mortal and the other is immortal, and one is the worshipper and the other is worshipped, etc. With the different and opposed qualities, such distinction disappears and the worshipper becomes one with Devi, as the Advaita Shrutis are opposed to such differences. Mahanavami. This prayoga is to obtain 4 kinds of salvation. In the Navaratra days, 9 days, the 8th and the 9th days are called Mahanavami. In these 2 days, the equal essence of Shiva and Shakti occurs. In these days, all classes of people without exception are entitled to worship Devi themselves. Navaratra is of 2 kinds. One is in the autumn and the other is in the spring season. The Markandeya Purana says, the great worship is performed in the autumn season and at the beginning of the new year, spring. In the 3rd book of the Devi Bhagavata Purana, Devi says to Sudarshana, the worshipper of Kamabija, the great worship of mine should be always performed in the autumn season, and one should also arrange to celebrate according to the rules the Navaratra festival. The great festivals of Navaratra should be celebrated by you in the months of Chaitra and Ashwayuja. The constellation of Chitra and Ashwini appear on the full moon days, which will please me. In the Saubhagya Ratnakara, the Navaratras are said to be observed in the Asadha and Pausha, 4th and the 10th lunar months. The Mahanavami are the days of the 8th and the 9th in the autumnal Navratra, as described in the Kalika Purana and said by Dhaumya. The Brahmana Purana says, the day when the sun goes to Kanya, the 6th sign of the zodiac, and when the 8th day joins with Mula constellation is called Mahashtami. In the Mula constellation, does not join the 8th day or the next constellation, Purvashada joins it. Then also it is to be called Mahashtami. Then Nrisimha Prasada says, in the bright fortnight of the Ashvayuja month, the 8th day joined with the Mula or the Purvashada or with the above 2 constellations is called Mahanavami. And it is very difficult to get one even in the 3 worlds. The Uttara Purana and Vishwarupacharya confirm the same. Hence, the theory that some hold the Navami day only is called Mahanavami is rejected. The Puranas say whether the eighth day joins the ninth or the ninth day with the eighth. According to preponderance of the days, the day is called half Devi and half Shiva, and the Uma Maheshwara day, Bhojaraja says, on the eighth day, Rudra is to be worshipped, on the ninth, Devi is to be worshipped. Navami belongs to Uma and Ashtami to Hara. If these 2 days are joined together, then the holy day is called Uma Maheshwara day. The same rule is to be observed in the spring Navaratra also. The worship is at midnight. The Devi Purana says, in the Ashwayuja month, at the end of the rainy season, Devi, the slayer of Mahishasura, should be worshipped at midnight on the eighth day. The same the Shukti Rahasya and the Vishwarupacharya repeat. Some say the puja should be performed in the daytime on the eighth day, holding for their authority a passage from the uttara Purana, but it is the custom of the blind men. To this puja, all classes of men are entitled. The Puranas also say Devi should be worshipped in every place, in every town, in every house, in every village, by all able men, bathed with enthusiasm, by Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, by the devoted Mlechas, and by every class of men on earth, by women, etc. The conclusion is, if one worships Devi at midnight on the 8th and the ninth days of the autumnal and spring Navratras, total 4 days in the Sri Chakra, with the Sahasranaman, the 4 kinds of salvation are in his hand. That is, by the first day worship, he acquires the Salokya salvation, by the second day, Sarupya salvation, by the third, Samipya salvation, and by the fourth day worship, the Sayujya salvation. Listen thou to know the result of worshipping the great Devi with the Sahasranaman in the Sri Chakra on Fridays. All one's desires in this world are fulfilled. He is attended with all prosperity and is blessed with sons and grandsons. And after enjoying all the desired objects, he is sure to attain at the end the state of lalitha sayujya, which is hard to reach and which is also coveted by Shiva and others. In this world, there is a saying, one will get immediately the result if he practices punya or papa, virtue or vice, without limit. Prosperity, progeny, wealth, health, knowledge, strength, etc.